Our planet, a marvel of natural wonders, faces a growing threat: pollution. These pristine landscapes, once untouched and pure, are now under siege from an enemy that is both pervasive and relentless. This insidious enemy born from human activities is silently contaminating our air, water, and land. The Industrial Revolution, while bringing progress, has also unleashed a torrent of pollutants into our environment. From the bustling cities to the remote corners of the earth, pollution knows no boundaries, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Urban areas with their dense populations and industrial activities are hotspots of pollution, but even the most remote wilderness areas are not spared. Pollution, simply put, is the introduction of harmful substances into our environment. These substances, known as pollutants, can take many forms, from the noxious gases spewed out by factories to the chemical runoff from agricultural fields. These pollutants can be solid, liquid, or gaseous, and they come from a variety of sources. Factories emit noxious gases, vehicles release exhaust fumes, and agricultural activities contribute to chemical runoff. One of the most visible forms of pollution is plastic waste. Our oceans, once teeming with life, are now choked with plastic debris. Marine life, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales, is affected by this pervasive problem. The consequences of pollution are far-reaching, impacting the delicate balance of our ecosystems and posing a grave danger to all living creatures. Fish and other marine life are dying in polluted waters, forests are being decimated, and coral reefs are suffering. As we navigate the 21st century, the fight against pollution has become a defining challenge of our time. Activists are raising their voices, communities are coming together for cleanup events, and scientists are working tirelessly to understand and mitigate the effects of pollution. The sheer scale of the problem can seem overwhelming, but it is a challenge we must confront head-on. Landfills are overflowing, rivers are polluted, and urban areas are shrouded in smog. The magnitude of the issue requires a concerted effort from all sectors of society. The future of our planet, and indeed our very survival, depends on it. We must strive for a world where children can play in clean parks, where renewable energy sources power our cities, and where forests can recover and thrive. It is time to understand the true cost of pollution, to recognize its insidious impact on our world, and to take collective action to combat this global threat. By working together, we can restore polluted areas, plant trees, and clean our beaches. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now. Global climate marches, environmental activism, and governmental agreements are steps in the right direction, but we must all play our part in this critical fight for our planet's future. The air we breathe, essential for life, is becoming increasingly polluted. Every breath we take is now a reminder of the growing environmental crisis that surrounds us. Invisible to the naked eye, a toxic cocktail of gases and particulate matter hangs in the air, especially above our cities. This unseen menace infiltrates our lungs and bloodstream, causing a myriad of health issues. Industrial emissions, vehicle exhaust, and even natural events like volcanic eruptions release a variety of pollutants into the atmosphere. Factories belch out smoke, cars spew exhaust, and natural disasters add to the mix, creating a complex web of pollutants. Among the most harmful air pollutants are carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter. These substances are not just harmful, they are deadly, contributing to severe health problems and environmental degradation. These pollutants contribute to a range of respiratory problems, from asthma to lung cancer, impacting millions of people worldwide. Vulnerable populations, such as children and the elderly, are particularly at risk, often suffering the most severe consequences. The burning of fossil fuels is a major contributor to air pollution. Coal-burning power plants, oil refineries, and the exhaust from millions of vehicles all play a significant role in degrading air quality. As we rely heavily on coal, oil, and gas for energy, we release a torrent of harmful gases into the atmosphere. This dependence on fossil fuels is not just an environmental issue, it's a public health crisis. This not only affects our health, but also contributes to global warming, a phenomenon that threatens the very future of our planet. The melting of glaciers, the increase in wildfires, and the rise in extreme weather events are all symptoms of a planet in distress. Reducing air pollution requires a multifaceted approach. It involves policy changes, technological advancements, and individual actions. Governments, industries, and citizens must all play their part. Transitioning to cleaner sources of energy, such as solar and wind power, is crucial. These renewable energy sources offer a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels, helping to reduce emissions and combat climate change. Improving public transportation systems and encouraging the use of electric vehicles can also significantly reduce emissions. Cities around the world are investing in electric buses, bike lanes, and modern public transport systems to create cleaner, healthier urban environments. Each individual can make a difference by choosing to walk, cycle, or use public transport whenever possible. Small changes in our daily habits can collectively lead to significant improvements in air quality and public health. Together, we can create a cleaner, healthier future for all. Our oceans, covering over 70% of the Earth's surface, are facing an unprecedented crisis. Pollution from various sources is pouring into our seas, poisoning marine life and disrupting delicate ecosystems. Plastics, chemicals, agricultural runoff, and even noise pollution are all taking a heavy toll on our oceans. Plastic pollution is perhaps the most visible and pervasive threat to our oceans. Millions of tons of plastic waste end up in our seas every year, where it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, forming a deadly plastic soup. Marine animals often mistake these plastic fragments for food, leading to starvation, entanglement, and even death. Chemical pollution from industrial discharges and agricultural runoff poses another serious threat to marine life. Heavy metals, pesticides, and fertilizers contaminate the water, poisoning fish and other marine organisms. These toxins can then accumulate up the food chain, ultimately reaching humans who consume seafood. Protecting our oceans requires a global effort. Reducing plastic consumption, properly treating wastewater, and implementing sustainable fishing practices are crucial steps in the right direction. We must also work towards cleaning up existing pollution and restoring damaged marine ecosystems. Section 4. The Poisoned Earth, a Silent Threat. The very ground beneath our feet, the foundation of life, is being poisoned by pollution. Industrial waste, agricultural practices, and even our own household waste contribute to the contamination of soil, threatening the delicate balance of terrestrial ecosystems. Heavy metals, pesticides, and industrial chemicals leach into the soil, contaminating crops and groundwater. These pollutants can accumulate in the food chain, posing serious risks to animal and human health. Soil contamination can also reduce soil fertility, making it difficult to grow crops and threatening food security. Improper disposal of electronic waste, known as e-waste, is another growing concern. Discarded computers, phones, and other electronic devices often end up in landfills, where toxic substances like lead, mercury, and cadmium can leach into the soil and contaminate surrounding areas. Protecting our soil requires a shift towards sustainable practices. This includes promoting organic farming methods, reducing the use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers, and ensuring the safe disposal of industrial and electronic waste. We must also work towards remediating contaminated land and restoring its health for future generations. Section 5. The Unseen Threat, Noise Pollution. While not as tangible as air, water, or soil pollution, noise pollution is a growing problem, particularly in urban environments. The constant hum of traffic, the clatter of construction, and the buzz of industrial activities create a soundscape that is often overwhelming and inescapable. Constant exposure to high levels of noise can have serious consequences for both human health and the well-being of wildlife. For humans, the incessant noise can lead to a range of health issues, from minor annoyances to severe health problems. Traffic, construction, industrial activity, and even loud music contribute to the cacophony of noise that engulfs our cities. Each of these sources adds to the overall noise level, creating an environment that is not only unpleasant but also harmful. Prolonged exposure to noise pollution can lead to hearing loss, stress, sleep disturbances, and cardiovascular problems. The constant barrage of noise can elevate stress hormones, leading to long-term health issues. It can also interfere with communication, concentration, and overall quality of life. In noisy environments, people often struggle to hear each other, leading to misunderstandings and frustration. Animals are also affected by noise pollution. The natural behaviors of wildlife are disrupted by the constant noise, which can have far-reaching consequences for their survival. Loud noises can disrupt their communication, mating patterns, and ability to find food. Birds, for example, may find it difficult to hear each other's calls, which can affect their ability to mate and raise young. In extreme cases, noise pollution can even lead to displacement and habitat loss. Animals may be forced to leave their homes in search of quieter areas, which can lead to overcrowding and increased competition for resources. For example, noise from shipping traffic can interfere with the echolocation abilities of whales, making it difficult for them to navigate and find food. This can have devastating effects on marine life as whales rely on echolocation for their survival. Reducing noise pollution involves implementing noise control measures, promoting quieter technologies, and raising awareness about the importance of a peaceful environment. Public campaigns can help educate people about the impact of noise pollution and encourage them to take action. This includes encouraging the use of noise barriers, limiting traffic in residential areas, and promoting quieter modes of transportation. By taking these steps, we can create a more peaceful and healthier environment for both humans and wildlife.